Have you ever thought about the fact that too many ads could actually be costing you money? It's true. Today I'm joined by my friend Lauren from Restored 316, and we're unpacking the truth behind ads and how to maximize and minimize your ads in order to make more money. So if you're ready, let's do it. Welcome to the Food Bloggers Table. Pull up a chair for authentic conversations and actionable advice from fellow food bloggers and industry experts. I'm your host, Jen, and I create custom food blogs designed to earn top-tier ad income. Join us now at the table as we break bread and build brands. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is ads cluttering up websites. The question is, can a bad layout be killing people's views?
So too many ads definitely 100% can be killing your views. Every weekend I go on Pinterest and I'm looking at recipes to plan my week. I'm normally on my iPad or my phone when I'm doing this. And 9 times out of 10, I always land on a food blogger's website that has so many ads I can't even get to the recipe. And I immediately go out of it. So that's my reaction, who designs websites for a living. Then I can't even imagine what other readers are doing. So it can definitely kill your views. But I also understand that for most bloggers, ad revenue is essential. So how do you make ad revenue and ads work together? Go on your own website on your phone or a tablet. I think that gets missed a lot. I think so many bloggers work on their websites on a desktop, which I'm guilty of the same thing, right? So if you pull up your website on an iPhone, which is the smallest screen, see what that user experience is just from your own experience, like going and finding recipes and printing recipes and all of those things that your readers are going to be doing, and seeing if it's too much and if it's overwhelming, because you can always pull that back. The typical ads I'm seeing are the ones that pop up and getting in the way of everything. And sometimes when they're popping up, you don't have an X, so you can't get out. So it's that type of user experience that you need to experience yourself on your own device, on your own website, to make sure that nothing is getting in the way of that reader experience.
Exactly. I would agree with you 1000%. So in a recipe post, there are lots of ads. We know we've got them showing up in the sidebar if we're talking about a desktop. We've got them showing up in the sidebar. They're showing up within content. What suggestions would you make for how a person could make it a little easier to consume the content without jumping to recipe, which is what everybody does because they're like, I don't want to fight 400 ads to get to the
Oh,
content.
yeah. I think it just goes back to that user experience. I think I would, number one, ditch the pop-up ads. Those have to go. The bottom ads or the ads that are between your content, those tend to be okay on a smaller device. But if it's popping up all in the way and I can't get out of it and all of that kind of stuff, that's got to go.
I agree. And
Yes.
something you and I had talked about earlier too was if you also have an email subscribe pop-up and
Yes.
ad pop-ups and coming in from the bottom and coming in from the side, there's X's everywhere. I can promise you people are going to click off your site. That's not
Absolutely.
going to help your ads. So you're really doing yourself a disservice by having so many ads people click away. If you had fewer ads, but they stayed on your site longer, you're going to have a better RPM than you
Right.
are with
Yeah.
142 ads flying in from every direction. And somebody's like, I got to get out of this place. This is making me crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. In fact, speaking of the newsletters, subscribe, I'm all for pop-ups. I feel like that is a great way to build a newsletter list. I know they can be annoying, but I think they should be used wisely. And I do think that one of the areas that they should be disabled is on a single post. I think you insert your form inside your post instead of having it pop up and do all that. A reader that's naturally scrolling through that blog post will have a natural opportunity to join your email list versus it just popping up in their face. And let's face it, a lot of people on recipe sites are coming from smaller devices.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's different for everybody, dependent on the type of recipes that you have. But I do feel that's the bulk of your audience is coming from a phone looking for what to for dinner tonight.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. If I've read halfway through your blog post, I already know whether or not I'm interested in signing up for your newsletter or signing up for the free thing. And by the way, just as a little side note, and I think you would agree with this too, most people are not interested in signing up for another newsletter. They want an opt-in that is worth their email address. And I think that could be a
Right.
whole nother episode. But
Yeah,
I
all
think
about email
that
marketing.
People are looking for something. If they're going to give you their email address, they want something in return. So I think that if you're going to have an email pop up that shows up on your homepage, that's fine, but make it a valuable pop up. Just like you said, make it meaningful, make it valuable so that if it pops in, they do something and then they go about their merry way. A lot of people don't realize that you can adjust and not show a pop up on mobile, and it will only show up on either a tablet or you can just have it show up on your desktop. Because again, you need to look at each experience almost individually. What is my mobile experience? What is my desktop experience? And what is my tablet experience? Because I am the worst about forgetting about tablets. I have an iPad, but I just don't use it to scroll stuff. So I either have my phone or my computer, and I just forget to look sometimes.
Totally. No, I'm super guilty of that, especially mobile. I don't know. I browse for recipes, but outside of that, I'm not on my phone for like browsing the typical website, you know? So when I'm designing themes and stuff, it's always the very last thing that I do.
Yes. But I think
Yeah.
it also is because when you're focused on design, we compartmentalize each device, which is what I would suggest to anyone listening or watching is think about your device and then that user experience. So think about it as your site having 3 user experiences and kind of experience it yourself and then decide what you might need to do to make it better. A lot of people don't realize that they can reach out to their ad network and say, okay, I'm not loving how many ads are showing up on my mobile. I feel like it's too much. And you have the right to be able to say, pull back. It's worth possibly testing, even if it's on 1 or 2 pages, maybe a couple of popular posts to see, okay, this post is getting a lot of traffic, so is this one. I'm gonna do fewer ads on this one to see what the data shows you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know most bloggers are with Mediavine, and Mediavine is amazing at helping with all of these things. So if you want to try it on 1 or 2 posts, like they're super helpful with making that happen for you. I think a lot of bloggers get stuck in the tech of all of
Yes.
things. So don't hesitate to reach out to either your email service provider or Mediavine or whoever your ad network is to kind of make that user experience best for your readers.
If cadence is your main theme and you want to structure and organize your blog posts in a way that will minimize the chaos, if I can say that, and help you consistently structure your recipes, you have something called the blog post templates. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah. So basically, it is predefined structures or templates, I guess you could say, of blog posts. So there are some in there for food bloggers. There's some in there for like listicle type posts or affiliate type content, things like that. But it really helps for you to just push a couple buttons and it inserts everything into the post. And then you just come behind that and fill it in with your own stuff. It just kind of helps take that guesswork out of making it look pretty. We have another product called Conversion Callout, which is awesome for inserting different things throughout your post. You would insert a conversion callout for maybe a tip or a note or a list or an opt-in. You can insert throughout your post to break up that content a little bit.
So whether you create them from scratch, which you absolutely can, or you do the quick and easy, which is what I would suggest. I will add the links below the video. And if you're listening to this in a podcast, I'll add it in the podcast notes so that you can see what we're talking about and you can get a good idea of what all is included in this set from Lauren. If you have a well laid out blog post with related posts and things that all make sense, someone would say, oh, this is an easy yes to click that button and go read that post. You're upping your ad revenue very organically in a way that's just going to make the user happy to be there because they're like, they're not just feeding me junk, they're feeding me the stuff that I want to consume. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Food Bloggers Table. I'm your host, Jennifer Holt, and I look forward to serving you in the next episode.